Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing a palette bingo with the Moonspell palette by Lunar Beauty. So if you like Lunar Beauty, if you like Moonspell, if you like grungy tones, if you like witches, or if you just like makeup and you want to hang and chill out, keep on watching. Before we get into the video where I do this look and we go backwards in time a little bit before I had this eye look on, I just want to say a little bit about the channel if you are new here. Hi, my name is Caitlin. I am 29, live in Ohio in the States, and I just absolutely love makeup. On my channel you can find a lot of mystery box unboxings, you can find haul videos, you can find tutorials, you can find some reviews, you can find some get ready with me's. I have just like a huge variety of things on my channel. I really like all types of makeup. I've got drugstore, I've got high-end. Right now I'm very into indie makeup, so if any of that sounds like things you would be interested in, I'd really enjoy if you would consider hitting the subscribe button. I make new videos once a week. I upload on Sundays. It is free to subscribe, and we'd really love to have you join us. Super friendly and kind group here on the channel. Down in the comments, nothing but loveliness down there. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, hope you consider joining us. Now let's get into the rest of the video. Alright everyone, so I've done a bit of my base to save time, and here is the palette if you have not seen it yet. Moonspell from Lunar Beauty. It's just the outside sleeve. It's supposed to kind of look like a spell book, and it slides out of this case. I always keep all of my boxes and cases, especially this one when it's made to, I don't know, go with the book aesthetic. Let me know, do you guys keep all of your boxes and packaging, or do you toss it and just keep the inside? Here's the inside. Some of the most gorgeous packaging I own, honestly, all the way down to the details of the pages here. Hopefully you can see it on camera, the texture of the individual pages. I also always keep these little plastic things. I'm just rough with my things and I'm worried about them breaking, so I keep them in there. Curious to know if you guys do that or if that's just me being over paranoid about it. But here is the palette color story. I've done a lot of monochromatic, like purple looks or neutral or greens, but I haven't mixed a lot, so I thought a palette bingo would be a fun way to get more creative with the palette. And so I'm going to go ahead and pick the shades and show you what I've got. This is the first palette bingo that I've ever filmed, but the way I've seen people do it is they pick 5 shades. So I have on my phone here just a random number generator, and I've got it 1 through 15. There's 15 shades. We're going to go ahead and pick 5. I'll swatch them out so you can kind of see the color story, and then I'm going to tell you a little about the palette and why am I doing a palette bingo on this particular palette that's been out for so long. So here we go. Generating first number is 12. So 12, and I'm going across just like starting here and going 1 through 5, 6 through, oh, that'd be 10, 11 through 15, whatever. So 12 is Bonnie, which I use Bonnie a lot for a transition shade, so we'll see what else we get, but I know that that's how I like to use that shade a lot of times. So that's the first one. Let's go ahead and see what we've got next. 1, oh, it's about to be a look, people. I was hoping I would get this because I love this as an inner corner Prue. Some of these shades I could probably dupe, but not all of them, and Prue is one of them that is so unique. I've never seen anything like this shade before. It is very soft, so I'm trying to be gentle and get enough to swatch, but not mush it around too much because it is a softer shade. It's this first very sparkly shade right here. And again, I'll show you the color story, so to speak, that we've got going here in a minute when we're done. 4 is the next shade. 4 is the shade Page. It's this purple. So like I said, I have never mixed these colors really. Like I've stayed pretty much within the same row and made it pretty monochromatic. So I'm pretty excited to get to play and like mix the different rows together, since I don't know why, but I've never done that. All right, we're halfway done. 2 more. Next is 3. Okay, so we're staying in the same row, and this is the shade Phoebe. We've got our second shimmer here. that we're gonna use. I love swatching these just because like they're so soft and creamy feeling. I know people, it seems like overuse that word, but I genuinely think it's applicable to this palette. And last we have shade 6. So shade 6 is Winifred here, kind of like a, I would say cool toned. It's not like the coolest toned shade in here, but I think it's leaning more cool toned. All right, so here is the color story we are working with. People, we have up here is shade Bonnie. Next we have, you can almost barely see it, that kind of shimmery color. I would describe it as like having purple and blue reflect with kind of like a sheer or clear base, like it's more of a topper shade there. That one's Prue. Then we have Paige, another matte. It's purple, but to me it's like leaning pink. Then after that we have Phoebe, which has more of a pink base with like purple, pink, and blue reflect in it. And then we have Winifred down here at the bottom, another matte, semi-cool toned brown. So I'm really happy to get 3 mattes and 2 shimmers. I think that's a perfect ratio. You always run the risk with palette bingo. I mean, I guess it's okay if we would have had it all matte look, but to like not get an inner corner shade, or you run the risk of getting like all shimmers. But there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmers in this to begin with, and then one more like kind of satiny. I don't know, I wouldn't consider Fiona a shimmer like the others, but it's definitely not the same matte formula. So that's what we're working with today, guys. I'm thinking just right off the bat that maybe I'll do a bit of the top and bottom shades here in the crease and use this on the outer corner, this on the lid, this in the inner corner, and then, you know, some combination of something on the lower lash line. Just first thoughts here, but we'll see as we go. It could develop and I might change my mind halfway through. That happens sometimes. So I do already have eyeshadow primer on. I've been using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer every day, so I just did my same thing with that. And I'm gonna go ahead and start with Bonnie, that light matte shade in the crease. So as promised, now kind of as I'm working, I'll tell you why Caitlin, are you doing a palette bingo with a palette that came out, I don't know, into what, 2019, I think? It's been a while, right? Almost 2 years old. Well, it was inspired by a post I saw about 4 days ago, and the post, I'm not gonna lie, kind of devastated me. So if you've been watching my channel for a bit, you may know that Moonspell is one of my absolute favorite palettes of all time I've ever tried in my entire collection, okay? It really is. And much of that has to do with the color story. Greens and purples are my favorite colors of eyeshadow to do. I'm gonna also take Winifred and just kind of go over in the same area that I just did Bonnie. Same brush, some Morphe M441 in case you're curious. But I saw Lunar Beauty make a post 4 days ago, and it was a repost. Someone had taken a photo, lovely photo of Miss Moonspell, which the other reason I love the palette, guys, is just the witchy, wizardy, you know, spell aesthetic. Like, I love, just like Manny, all of the like Charmed and Hocus Pocus, and like just the theming in general got me, as well as the color story. But there was a post made by Lunar Beauty. They reposted a photo and it says, "Get your Moonspell palette now, only a few left. Once they're gone, they are gone." And to me, that was news that I was like, this palette's getting discontinued? Excuse me? What? Was this limited edition? I don't, I'm wondering if maybe, I would be surprised. I'm wondering if maybe it just didn't sell as much as they thought, which I would be kind of surprised because, I don't know. I just think this is fabulous. But I guess if you're not into grungy tones or witchy things, maybe this isn't your cup of tea. But I don't know if they just had a lot of inventory they're sitting on, and so they're like, okay, this isn't really selling anymore, so we're gonna, you know, make room for something new in inventory, or what the deal is. But I thought, what a great opportunity to bust it out, one, before you guys can no longer get it, and then I feel kind of like, okay, well, I'm using this palette, but you can't actually get it anymore. and also an opportunity to show you how great it is so that you can get a chance to get it before it's out. Just to let you guys know, the palette as of today when I'm uploading this video is still in stock. It is $48. They do have Afterpay, which is like installments that you could make installments over the course of, I think it's 2 months. It's like 4 interest-free payments. And the last I checked, code LUNARFAM did still work at checkout to get you some money off. So I'm just going in with Bonnie again, one more time in the crease here, and I'm also like dragging it down here a little bit on the outside just to start making the eyeshadow shape that I want. But anyway, I have to tell you, when I read that, I panicked a little, okay? I panicked a little because this is truly one of my favorites. And immediately I thought, should I buy a backup? Like that's to the extent. I know there's a lot of product here and it would take me forever to go through it, but if it's never coming back, I had that thought. I haven't decided yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm really trying not to spend money on things that I don't need. This is gonna last me a while, so I'm kind of like, should I just live in the moment and enjoy it while it lasts and move on, or should I get a backup? Maybe you guys can help me decide. Give me some advice down in the comments below because I'm really torn on this one in particular. All right, so next I'm gonna take Page, which is the matte kind of pinky shade. I'm gonna do that just in the outer third to use that almost as like my deepening shade in this look. And that is the shade Page. I'm switching to a Morphe M456. But yeah, that is what inspired this video, is just the fact that, like I said, it's gonna become discontinued based on that post. And I wanted a chance to play with that on camera and show you guys a look and really honestly just bust something out that I already have in my collection that I already know I'm gonna love, and share it once again with you guys and get a little bit more creative. I kind of have been wanting to film a palette bingo anyway, but I wasn't really sure what to do it with. So this was just like a sign that I needed to do it with this palette. You wouldn't think of like pink as really being a deepening shade, but because I pulled down Winifred and Bonnie on the side too, it's like mixing with those grungier tones to make it a little bit deeper and doing what I want it to do as an outer corner shade. So next I'm gonna go with Phoebe on the lid as a shimmer, and I am gonna go in with some Ulta Beauty glitter primer just to make that shimmer pop a bit more. This is something I do with pretty much all my shimmers, so it's not that you need this per se with this palette or that it doesn't work or isn't good without it. Please don't think that. This is just what I do with, like I said, pretty much all my shimmers because I want them to be the most poppin' that they possibly can be. All right, I'm gonna start with Phoebe on my finger just because I think these shadows work the best that way. And then I can go in after the fact with the brush just to try to get it all the way to the edges because I don't wanna stick my big sausage finger in there too far or it's just gonna make a mess. By the way, I do want to mention, especially some of the mattes in here, there is a bit of fallout because they are pressed pigments. But you'll notice I really don't have any fallout. As long as you tap off the excess before you go in and be careful of that, I think you're perfectly fine to do your complexion first like I did. If you don't want to worry about having to tap off or you're nervous about fallout, maybe do your eyes first. Just a suggestion with this palette. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take a tiny little M506 here to go in with Phoebe, and like I said, make sure I'm getting it all the way to the edges of the eye socket, basically the way I want it, making sure it's blending into the mattes. I love this so far, but honestly, I knew any shades I drew were gonna come out well because I feel like everything in this palette goes together very well. I'm gonna go back in with Bonnie on top here because I just feel like that green tinge is getting lost a little bit, and I went back to my original brush using very light pressure just to help also blend out the edges a bit here on top as I'm doing that around the shimmer. I'm also gonna take Winifred and Bonnie and go a little bit on the lower lash line here. I promise you I just got out of the shower, so if you see my hair looking stringy, it's still damp. I'm not that greasy, I swear. It's just air drying. I try not to use heat too much on my hair. tends to really break and fry easily. All right, and I'm gonna take a little bit of Page as well, just on the outer third here on the lower, and connect it. Just to let you know, I did that with an M508. Awesome. Okay, then I'm gonna take Prue, and she's gonna go on the inner corner and the brow bone. So Miss Prue is going on an M560. She's very crumbly, so be careful with her. You might want to wet your brush, not even because it needs it for the pop of color on this shade, but just so she doesn't get too crumbly all over on you and she kind of sticks where you want her to. I don't know why I'm assigning Prue a gender. Well, Prue is a girl in the show, so I guess that makes sense. Such a pretty inner corner color. And then, like I said, too, same brush, just gonna go a little bit here on the brow bones. Not too much because it is pretty intense shimmer, just a little bit. And then what I like to do with this brush is if I have any extra, I don't dip in, but I'll go over my highlight with my inner corner color, just to give it that like tinge, that hue, slight bit of purple on top to pull everything in together. So yeah, those are the 5 colors, guys, that I used in this palette bingo. I'm gonna go off camera and add liner, mascara. I don't think I'm gonna do a lash today, and lips, and I will be back to wrap it up with you. Alright guys, I am back here with the finished look. I added quite a few things, not gonna lie, after the eyeshadow. I went in with the Airspun liquid eyeliner in shade Coffee on the upper lash line. I went in with the ColourPop X Raw Beauty Christy collab eyeliner in shade Woodsy for the waterline underneath. That brown tone matched the brown tone in the palette pretty well. I used the NYX On The Rise Volume Lift Mascara instead of falsies. I think it looks pretty good. This isn't like too dramatic of an eye. It's wearable, I think, without a lash. And then for the lips, I wanted to do a little matchy-matchy with the purple, so I went in with the LA Girl, what is this? Matte Flat Velvet Lips. I've had this for years. This is in shade Giggle. And then I topped it with the Essence Hello Wow Dewy Lip Shine in Scarab. It has some of those similar like purpley pink blue reflex. And then I simply couldn't help it. Did I already have on highlighter before I started this video? Yes. Did I stop there? No, because I cannot be stopped when it comes to highlighters. So on top of, I already had a Maybelline highlighter on, but with the vibe of the reflect, especially on the lid here and how like wet and the blue reflect in the eye is looking, I had to go in with the Ofra collab with Nikki Tutorials in shade Space Baby, just to add a little hint of blue to the high points of the face. It's just very subtle. And I have to say, guys, I would really say this. I would feel confident wearing this even to work. I think it's very wearable, even though it's grungy tones. I try to put more of like a spring brighter pinky purple lip with it. Definitely say this palette is a good way to dip into some colors, but they're more muted tones. It's not like Pam, Pow, vibrant, in your face colors that are so vibrant that you might feel a little out of your comfort zone. Again, I still feel like this is very wearable in the daytime and not like so dramatic. But you definitely could make it go there if you wanted to. A little bit more of those deeper colors, putting on a dramatic lash, you know, it's very versatile, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We played with this colored story today, but there's 15 shades. They are great. I would highly recommend this palette. I've had nothing but great experiences with it. I have tried some of Manny's other palettes through Lunar Beauty as well that I really think the formula is pretty consistent. I would say Strawberry Dream is the other one that I think is as good as Moonspell. I've not tried the Eclipse palette. The Greek Goddess I didn't think was as good. That was one of his earlier ones, so I would not recommend the Greek Goddess really as much, but the others, yes. I've also tried the blush palette. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, oddly enough, I've never tried the lip products, but I've heard people rave about those as well. So if you do decide to go get Moonspell before it is out, if you want to get some other things while you're at it so you don't have to pay for shipping multiple times. I know I always try to look in and be like, okay, what do I want? Let me get it in one order so I only pay for shipping one time. Those are kind of items I would recommend. I love the blush palette. I talk about it in my full collection of blushes. I'll leave that in the cards if you're interested in seeing that. And yeah, guys, that is all for today. I hope you liked this video. Let me know what you think of palette bingos. Like I said, this is the first one I'm filming on my channel. I had a lot of fun. I think it's a creative way to use things we already have. Let me know if you like them or if there's other content you prefer more. Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, guys, I will see you next week with a new video. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye!